running defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers, rushing for 265 yards. If Lamar Jackson knew how to hold on to the football in this particular game, they would have won that game. I got to give credit where credit is due. Baltimore is still formidable. You can't sleep on them. They're a top 5 team in the National Football League. I firmly believe this. I'm going with them at number 5. Let's get to number 4 on the list. Please give it to me. The Seattle Seahawks. Why? It's not just the fact that they're winning games. They only got 1 loss of the season. Russell Wilson is a leading candidate for league MVP. But whether you want to say it's the second coming of Megatron or T.O., pick your choice. The bottom line is simple. DK Metcalf is that dude. The brother is no joke. He's a stud. And oh, by the way, Molly, as an aside, he has helped me with my core level. My core has been improving. Ladies and gentlemen, DK Metcalf got me doing sit-ups at night. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, I got to give the brother credit where credit is due. Let's go to number 3 on the list, please. Give it to me. Where is it? It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Why? Because Tom Brady is just putting on a show. He's completing over 66% of his passes. The man has thrown 20 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. Keep in mind, last year, after about 8 games, Jameis Winston had thrown over 15 touchdowns. The bottom line is Tom Brady is that dude. It helps that you have Gronk. It helps that you have Brady. Chris Godwin he's missed half the games, by the way. He's going to come back eventually. And oh, by the way, they're about to get Antonio Brown. Lord have mercy. It's going to be special. We can't ignore the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what we have seen from them. Despite their struggles against the New York Giants, they probably just thought it was going to be a cakewalk, didn't handle it as seriously as they needed to, but they still ended up winning the game. Let's go to number 2 on the list, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why? Because they're undefeated, that's why. When you're undefeated, I can point out some things, no doubt, but in the end, you've closed the deal. Listen, you got Claypool, you got Juju Smith-Schuster, all right? James Conner is a solid runner. We know that Big Ben Roethlisberger has been playing relatively well, even though that was a horrid first half against the Baltimore Ravens. But the key thing here is that regardless of their troubles, giving up 265 yards rushing, the bottom line is they're still undefeated. I can't ignore that. But are they the best in my estimation? Hell no. That would go to number 1 on the list. You know who it is. It's the defending Super Bowl champions known as the Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes is flat out balling. That's why. Because Tyreek Hill is still no joke. That's why. Because Travis Kelce, my brother from another mother, is that dude, the best tight end in football. Sorry, George Kittle, I wish you well coming back from your foot injury, by the way. But Travis Kelce is that guy, along with McCole Hardman, with Andy Reid coaching, with Eric Bieniemy, who should be the next head coach, at least of the Houston Texans. Notice I didn't say the Jets because we don't wish that on Eric Bieniemy. Let him go to Houston and coach Deshaun Watson. In the end, those are your top 5 teams. Baltimore at number 5, Seattle at number 4, Tampa at number 3, Pittsburgh at number 2, and the Kansas City Chiefs at number 1, even though they had a bye week, y'all, because I don't count games against the Jets to be actual games. That is a bye week.
Well, you're back to having a good list. You had some head scratchers recently, but you're back to a good list. And I won't even quibble about who should be in the 5 spot. I think you could still make an argument for the Packers, believe it or not. But I want to talk about the Bucs and the Seahawks. I want to talk about the Bucs and the Seahawks. I understand where we think the Bucs are headed with Antonio Brown, and they have a defense. They have 2 losses. The Seahawks have 1. They just beat the Giants by the skin of their teeth. The Seahawks just easily beat, or by a wide margin, beat the 49ers. The Seahawks have 1 loss on the season. It's to the second-place team in a game that could have gone either way. That game could not have been closer. They were maybe a play away from being undefeated. I got a problem putting the Seahawks. I know it seems like a little minor thing, but I have a problem putting Seattle less than 3. They have to be in the top 3.
Marcus?
I like the list. I like where the Seahawks are because, look, the defense has been bad. And obviously they had a really good performance against the 49ers. But right now at this point, we're looking for complete. And, yeah, we can say that Tampa struggled against the Giants. Teams find a way to win. The good ones do. And obviously when you look at what Seattle is doing, it's all about the offensive firepower right now. And I got to shout out Ken Norton Jr., the defensive coordinator, for the Seattle Seahawks. He came and responded against the 49ers. I have no problem with what they did and how they're ascending, and even adding Carlos Dunlap and possibly getting Jamal Adams back may supplant the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at that point. But AB is coming, and Chris Godwin is going to get healthy. And we know what Tom Brady is going to do. He's not going to turn the football over, and that defense is elite, if not the best in the league. So I'm still comfortable with the Bucks being where they are, and I would almost defer to having them compete with the Pittsburgh Steelers, if not for an undefeated record, to Stephen A's point. I don't have a problem with that. I would take the Bucks defense over Seattle, and that's the reason I have them above Seattle.
Seattle, a play away from being undefeated, just easily beating or by a wide margin, beating San Francisco. A play away. And that play was against the second-place team. You guys are rough on Seattle, boy.
Wait. Hold up. I got one gripe. You could make an argument the Ravens don't deserve to be in the top 5. I agree with you, Max. You could swap Seattle and the Bucks. They are going to get AB. But Stephen A., you're a Steelers fan. They're undefeated. How are they not number 1?
Well, Molly, if you recall what I said, it's that they gave up 265 yards rushing. The fact of the matter is the Baltimore Ravens beat the brakes off of them in every capacity, but Lamar Jackson turned the ball over 4 times. So Lamar Jackson, his individual performance is what cost the Ravens the game, but clearly in every other sense, they beat up the Pittsburgh Steelers. We know what the match is going to be like. We know how roughhouse these brothers go up against one another. But the Steelers closed the deal, and they deserve credit for it. But it was Lamar Jackson.
Problem.
They still don't make them better than the Chiefs.
I thought it was your record.
Two teams the Ravens need to beat. 2 teams the Ravens need to beat. The Chiefs and the Steelers, they lost to both. Tough to have them in the top 5.
No way. They should be in the top 5.
The
Ravens are a top 5
it was,
team, man.
Ravens are a top 5 team.
It was a solid list. Wasn't your best, but it was solid.
You can say that.
Marcus, thank you so much for being with us. We will see you on NFL Live a little later, 4 Eastern today. I just like giving Stephen A. a hard time.